All right, man. Culture talk. Ah, y'all seen my last episode? It was a ride. That was a good one. I'm telling you. I had tried some ice cream, 3 different type of Talenti ice cream. Y'all like Talenti? So the 3 was raspberry cheesecake. It was what was it? Vanilla caramel swirl and chocolate peanut butter cup. Ooh-wee. Bruh. So the victor probably was the vanilla caramel swirl. Yeah. But the chocolate peanut butter cup, yeah. I don't eat sweets like that, but yeah. Go check out that episode. It's mind blowing. All right, man. So today's episode, this is gonna be a doozy. A lot of y'all might not like this one. A lot of y'all might not like my take. A lot of y'all might love my take. But y'all here for me to give my take. So we're gonna give my take. But all right, so today we're gonna talk about this whole Wallow situation. Now, I did talk about this on the Torture Talk After Hours, but this clip here is Joe Buttons and them talking about it. And I want to give my take on how I feel about what Lamont Hill said. Shout out to him too. He's actually a pretty good dude. So look, we're gonna get into that. You know, I gotta get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put 1 in the chat. Look at that right there. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I'm from 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,000 subscribers. And yes, I am the Night King, the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. You already know what it is. So we're going to get right to it, man. Let's do it. All right, man. So Wallo has said some things that got a lot of black people upset. And it got a lot of black people actually agreeing with him. And yeah, so we're gonna see how this goes. You already know, links gonna be in the description, all that good stuff, links to the channel. So let's go.
Oh man, so the Joe Budden podcast, they're discussing the viral Wallow clip that's going crazy as he spoke to a group of entrepreneurs giving a motivational speech and encouraging them not to rely on just being a black business for support from black consumers. Focus on the quality of your product and don't use it as a crutch or a hustle. Now, people are upset with the way that he delivered the message and also think that it's anti-black in some type of way. I went over it lightly in the Black Twitter episode, but I'm gonna give some more thoughtful takes on the situation as well as hearing what they have to say on the JBP. So let's tap in. This is mainly Mark Lamont Hill and Ish speaking on the situation. Some people chime in, but let's hear what they have to say.
All right, before he even give his take, I'm gonna say this. Full disclosure, I support black businesses. I do. You know what I'm saying? I do. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with supporting black businesses. But I'm going to give y'all my theory of why what Wallo said is actually absolutely 100% accurate. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell y'all why. And yeah, so let's get to it, man.
I'm a Wallow fan. I consider him a friend. We do business together sometimes, in terms of him supporting the store, things like that. But that shit was the most off-base thing I've ever heard Wallow say.
Where was he when he made this statement?
He was speaking, from the clip, it looked like he was speaking to a group of either entrepreneurs or business owners or something like that, and he was kind of giving them a motivational speech about business and things like that. Because his whole thing was, I'm not here just to make you feel good, I'm gonna give you the real too. And I have the clip here.
Nobody wanna hear us. Oh, I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material on your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Well, fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them deals where the fuck I want to spend it at. grab his Porsche, Ferrari, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm going to tell you one thing, I ain't going to be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, some listen to you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake-ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the #1 nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I made millions, and I make millionaires, baby. You understand me? I come from the ghetto.
Tell me why.
All right. So before we go any further, that was a lot to digest. I think a lot of people are going to take what he said and they're going to try to flip it as if he does not support black businesses. That's absolutely not what he's saying. He's saying that don't lead with support black businesses. And I know a lot of y'all probably saying, why not? There's a bunch of reasons why you should never lead with black business. You know what I'm saying? You should lead with your name before you lead black business. That's my opinion. If it's let's say I don't know, Johnson's and Sons restaurant, you should lead with that. Don't lead with support black businesses, because what happens is everybody's put into a bucket when it's a black business, because most black businesses, matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna let him talk a little more. Then I'm gonna go deeper into it. I'm not gonna spill everything right now. Let's keep it going.
You found it offensive, and that's just the first word that came to mind. It might not be offensive, but just tell me what was wrong with what he said.
I think a lot of times the most dangerous things that are said are lightly dipped in truth. So
Bars.
So it's not.
I hate when people do this. Like, stop using word semantics, bro. Lightly dipped in truth. It's either it's true or it's not, bro. That's it. Lightly dipped in truth is such a cop-out when it comes to having a real conversation. Because you want to play with words to get your point across instead of just saying, well, what he's saying is actually true. But I don't like the way he went about saying it. Maybe he should have said it in private. Maybe he shouldn't have said that so everybody can see it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he should have said it, used different words. You know what I'm saying? But when you say stuff like lightly dipped in truth, it's kind of like saying, well, that's half a lie. That's not fully true. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's word semantics, and they playing, and that right there is the type of things that people use to play on people's emotions when it comes to certain things. Because now it looks like Wallow he's not being genuine. He's actually tricking you, because he's tricking you with stuff that's lightly dipped in truth. What did the boy say? Cannabis said? The best way to hide a lie is between two truths. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically kind of like what he's saying.
Anything specific he said is wrong. Sometimes the most dangerous things that are said are lightly dipped in truth. So
Bars.
So it's not that anything specific he said is wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying I want to be colorblind here.
Just let them get it. that shit was poetic.
Slurpee, girl. Slurpees.
Hey,
From the distance.
And I know I ain't like it, because when she first asked Mark, it made it sound like she might have had a different opinion.
Yeah.
He say bars. Yeah. Well, then shut your ass up there.
No, I do though. But
I know
keep
you
going.
do, man.
So if you take each of the things he says individually, like, okay, race, we shouldn't just look at race. Sure, if you run a business, you shouldn't be riding on the back of just being black and expect people to support you if it's a bad business because you're black. Your cook should be lined up. Your business should be tight. The restaurant should be clean. All that's true, right? Most of y'all not gonna make it. I actually think that's an important thing to tell any business owner, any entrepreneur. All that is good, but what the takeaway comes from that is we don't need to have a special responsibility or a special duty to support black businesses because they're black. And I think.
All right, so let me stop him right there. So, all right, Lamont. All right. So basically what you're telling me is, right, in so many words, you're saying that what he said was actually correct. But the way he went about it is basically saying, is putting a bad message out there that you should not support black businesses. And you totally left out one of the key contexts in what he said. You should not only support black businesses because they say they're black. That's what he's saying. He never said, and I don't think he's saying this, I'm just saying, he never said that you should not support black businesses. He never said that. He's saying if they leading with that, then no, don't support black businesses who just say that they're a black business, because there are a lot of businesses out there that are trash, that are black businesses, right? So that's what I'm believing he's saying. And I think Lamont, he's trying to do as much mental gymnastics as he can to try to make it seem like, because don't get me wrong, I like him a lot, but I also know that he is beholden to certain things. I ain't gonna get into it. He's beholden to that, so he kind of has to stick with that. He can't really get out here and say how he really feels about certain things because he's already conditioned by people to say a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? Certain people to, yeah, you better say this. Like that's what it is. He is not a free thinker. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
As black people,
I don't think that's the conversation that was being had, though. Just because you heard that and that made you think about other instances, that shouldn't be what's correlated from that conversation, you know. But go ahead.
we absolutely have a duty to support black businesses because they're black.
Whether they're good or not, I totally disagree.
That's where the straw man comes in.
I'm letting them land.
That's where the straw man comes. Again, I'm not saying keep going to a restaurant that has rats in it. But what I'm saying is he's saying he's framing it almost like he said it's a finesse. This, riding off this black shit, or I'm not going to support you just because you black. I'm saying,
What he doing is he's trying to mix. He's trying to take what he said and separate it as if it wasn't one cohesive argument, and trying to mix it and make it two separate arguments. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying like, well, he's saying that it's finesse. No, he's saying that there are people out there who will use that this is a black business as a finesse. He's saying that eliminate all that and just focus on being a good business. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. And what you're doing is you're trying to pinpoint certain things to try to make your argument sound. And your argument to me, is kind of falling flat on his face, because you agree that businesses should be good. You agree with that. And he's saying the same thing, but he's just saying, don't lead with saying support black businesses. He's saying, forget all that. Just focus on being a good business. If you happen to be black, good. Because people are going to come there, and regardless of you black, if you just a good business, like, okay, there's a spot, shout out to them around the corner from me. You know what I'm saying? They make breakfast. It's a black owned spot. It's absolutely amazing. And I know the dude, he's a hood dude, but it's absolutely amazing. But he don't say support black business. He don't say that. He just has the name up there. Not saying that every black business say support black business, but you know what I'm saying? He never led when he told me about his restaurant, he never led with that. He just said, and I actually gave him a ride somewhere. So I seen him and gave him a ride. And he was like, yeah, man. He was like, yeah, come to my restaurant. I was like, you got a restaurant? He was like, yeah, check it out. And that was it. And I went there and it was good. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going.
we should support businesses just because they black. We should pay special extra attention because they black. Because a lot of times what black people do, which frustrates me as a black business owner, and everybody up here is a black business owner, so y'all understand this, is that niggas will throw us away so fast. If somebody has to wait for 10 minutes at the soul food restaurant, man, these niggas, I had to wait 25 minutes for my soul food. I ain't never coming back again.
But they'll wait like an hour at Houston's.
Nigga, they will have a buzzer at the...
So, okay, all right, I get exactly what he's saying, because we do that. We do that. You know what I'm saying? There used to be this place up the street. There's always a place up the street for me. Sorry. But there was a place up the street for me where, but let's be clear here. A lot of us are built around stereotypical things. That's just what it is. So when somebody hears black business, they automatically think, right, certain things. And this is not just white people. This is black people. So if you go to a spot that makes that fried chicken, right? They fried chicken, a black spot fried chicken. After like maybe 2 months of you going there, you know the number one thing people say? Oh, this chicken tastes like they didn't change the grease. That's what people say. Oh, this chicken tastes like, man, I used to go there. Their food ain't good no more. They look like they kind of like they fell off. That's what it is. Because I'm gonna tell y'all what it is about, and this gonna sound crazy, but I'm telling y'all what I believe the reason why a lot of black people fall apart when it comes to restaurants. So you go to Burger King, you go to McDonald's, you go to KFC, you go to let's say you go to Domino's, any of these big chain restaurants, right? Any of them. They have a certain set of ingredients that they use every time. Every time. Never change. When you work at McDonald's, I don't know if none of y'all worked at McDonald's, they have a machine that you grab and you squirt one squirt of mustard, ketchup, onions. And whether you tell you to put it a certain way, that's what they do, right? You go to KFC, they deep fry their chicken, they season their chicken or it's already seasoned or whatever. There's no you putting on there, none of that. I believe the reason why a lot of black people say that they fell off or the food is not good is because we usually put our best foot forward whenever we open a restaurant, which means we try to get everybody to come there. We cooking the best food. But then eventually what happens is, not that we're not putting our best foot forward, we try to scale things back. Now we're not putting as much this in, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, we cutting corners. And it's just this is what I experienced working at a black restaurant. We cut corners. You know what I'm saying? So when we cut corners, what happens? People taste change. These people are trained to eat at these places. McDonald's, Burger King. They're trained because it's the same thing every time they go. So they know what they're getting. When you go to a black restaurant, you might get a platter, fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, right? I can almost guarantee you every time somebody go there, they get the same thing. Then one time they go there, they're going to say it's not good, right? Now, it's very rare you go to Burger King and say, well, this burger ain't good. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting the same burger every time, unless they didn't put something on it. Usually it's the same thing. I think that's what it is when it comes to black businesses. I think we don't necessarily stick to the script. If we say, what's that? One teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, blah 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 blah. Because we do that, mix it in, and that's it. They get the same taste every time. But sometimes we'll go get different noodles, different bread, different this, different oil, because what happens, that changes everything. And I know a lot of y'all probably like, I don't know. Yeah, that's the truth. When you change something, you could change one thing. And for some people, that changes everything. I'm just telling you. But let's keep it going. Run that back a little bit.
Wait for 10 minutes at the soul food restaurant. Man, these niggas, I had to wait 25 minutes from.
Yeah, I forgot about that part too. Yeah, that's true too, what he's saying. But I will say this, and I'm in the veer off on that. I just wanted to say this. To get back to what he said about waiting, right? That's another thing too about the stereotypical thing that we go through, right? When people say that's a black-owned restaurant, white people, black people, Asian people, everybody thinks that black people are never on time. They slow with certain things, and they don't have things prepared correctly. And I'll be honest with y'all. I went to a restaurant, and it was owned by black people. It was all black people in there, right? It's owned by black people. It took me to get my food. I sat down in there. I was in there for an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm not going to tell y'all how the experience of the food. I'm just telling y'all the timing. I was in there for an hour and 20 minutes before I even got my food. And it wasn't hardly nobody in there. So I don't know if they were making the food back there. And that's another thing too. A lot of times, us as black businesses, we just literally make the food. We'll make the food. Usually you have to have a certain time. Like, you already know everything's in rotation. You do it long enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's why restaurants are very complicated to. And it's not nothing to do with black people. Restaurants in general are very complicated to maintain. Because it's just very complicated to maintain. I'm just gonna put it to you like that. But yeah, we do get that we don't get that grace sometimes. And I think that's the reason why is because we're all put in this one box. Once you say black business, and you see me up the street, I own this, and there's another black business, somebody else up the street, then it's you're all put in the same box. You'd be like, oh, I'm not going there. I went to this store. You know what I'm saying? And they did the same thing. So I know it's wrong, but that's what it is.
Soul food, I ain't never coming back again.
But they'll wait like an hour at Houston's.
Nigga, they will have a buzzer at the Olive Garden waiting for an hour to get that food, right? They give us no grace, no mercy, no breaks, and I'm saying we need it. No community has the money leave their community faster than Black dollars.
That's right.
I don't agree with that. It's two reasons why I don't agree with that. Now, I'm gonna let it play a little bit, but I think he need to provide a little more context when he say the black community. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, yeah, he need to provide a little more context. I need to see what else he says after that, because I'm gonna give y'all my theory of some things.
That food, right? They give us no grace, no mercy, no breaks, and I'm saying we need it. No community has the money leave their community faster than Black dollars.
That's right.
That's true and untrue because I just haven't experienced that. So I would just say that you can't throw that assumption or that statement out as a blanket, because in Miami we support black businesses like a motherfucker. If anyone knows about Trick Daddy's restaurant that recently it became popular, it's been popular for the longest, ever since it came out. But that restaurant used to have lines around the corner, like literally around the corner. It's still successful. People still came. They stood in the lines because they knew the food was fire. Finger licking, same thing. I'm speaking about restaurants. People stand in the lines because they know the food is fire. You know, there's also been some black businesses in Miami that's been on dirty diners. They had to shut down for a little while, pop back up, back operating very well, you know? So I don't agree with that statement. You may have people that may complain, but those businesses still are successful. Sometimes some of these places have bad service because they know people are gonna come and shop with them regardless. But to his other point though,
no community has the money leave their community faster than Black dollars.
That's right.
it is true about the money leaving the black community fast. That is very, very true. But is that due to the lack of success with our businesses? Or is that due to, the lack of access to black businesses in certain areas? There's a lot of businesses out there that are necessities that our people don't focus on. So sometimes we have no choice but to go and spend our dollar in other places because the black businesses that we can use they come few and far between. How many black-owned grocery stores is in your community? How many black-owned gas stations are in your community? Those two necessities right there. Simple as necessities.
I'm saying we need it. No.
Now, here's the thing, and this is what I believe. Black people usually start up a business I'm saying the typical black business. I ain't saying that there's not other black businesses out there, because they are. I'm saying the typical black business is food, which would be soul food, grandma's food or whatever, clothing, sneakers, clothes, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And what would be another one? So to me, that would be the main two. You know what I'm saying? That I noticed. It might be another one. I'm trying to think. Which would be another one? What would be another one? In a club, like a disco, whatever, like a nightclub or a strip club or whatever, right? Or a barbershop, right? So those would be the typical black businesses that you would see. A good portion of black businesses probably the ones that would supersede the most would be barbershops. So you black barbershops, then you got what they call that? Soul food would probably be number 2, clothing be number 3, and then like somebody opening a club. So this is what black businesses would consist of. They don't never really venture off in other things. Like I don't really see black people owning gyms or owning supermarkets or owning certain things. Like I seen a couple of black dealerships, you know what I'm saying? Black owned. Now, here's the thing about what he's saying about when it comes to the money leaving the black community. And I'm gonna explain the reason why I think that what he's saying is I don't really follow what he's saying, because he has to say that if he's saying, if Lamont is saying that the money is leaving the black community, then he definitely have to say the inner city. He has to say the inner city, because what do you mean by black community? Where is the black community located at? Right? Where is it located at? So you have to say the inner cities, the ghetto, or whatever you want to call it, because where would you place another black community? You know what I'm saying? That you would say that the money stays in that community. Just say Camden, right? Camden, New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey, a certain part of Camden, New Jersey is black. But you can't say the whole Camden, New Jersey is the black community. It's not. Like I'm struggling to figure out what he mean by that. Maybe he's gonna explain it. Let's keep going. Then I'm gonna get my theory on that too.
Community has the money leave their community faster than black dollars.
That's fact.
We give that shit away quick, and we love to give it to the dry cleaner, the restaurant.
Touch one hand and it goes straight to the.
And that's what I'm saying.
Community.
So I'm saying we have a responsibility not to play into that. And I don't. And Wallo does support black business. Like I said, he makes extra trips to my bookstore just to buy books when he could buy them from Amazon for a lot cheaper, frankly. But when you send that message out, it's dangerous because people hear the wrong thing.
But you're proving his point with him support.
You can't make this up, bro. You can't. Bro, are you serious? You just proved his point. Oh my God, bro. This is what I mean. Like, a lot of times these dudes, they just basically be talking to talk. Like, for real. Because they have a little bit of name, people behind their name. They just be talking to talk. All right, look, let's talk about what he said. Because I think what he said is very important. What he just said. So he said that we take the money and we buy outside of the community. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I live in an area, right? And my area is not the suburbs. It's kind of a, I would say, it's a small city area, right? I live in a diverse community, right? Diverse. Ain't some hood going on around here, but I live in a diverse community. And guess what? Even in the hood, even not hood, but hoodish community I live around, it's a lot of black, white, Asian people, Spanish, Hispanic people live in this area. So when he says money in the community, it leaves the community, what community are you talking about? Because usually nowadays, if you're not talking about the inner city where it's predominantly black in a certain area, let's say the Bronx, right? In a certain area of the Bronx, I don't know, a certain part of the Bronx. It might be all black people live there, all Hispanic people live there, whatever, right? I don't understand that logic no more, because when people say the black community, I need to question that now, because it's not how it used to be. I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black families that live in this neighborhood, and it's like 10 white families. So when you say black community, what are we talking about? I got another one. In the area I live in, there's 13 black businesses, right? That are run by black people. I'm not gonna say they're black businesses, but I'm just gonna say, because I don't believe maybe 1 or 2 of them say support black business, but a good portion of them, they are just black. You know what I'm saying? It's about 13, and believe it or not, they all food. Well, then if we count the barbershops, then it's more than that. We count the barbershops, we talking like maybe 30, right? Because there's a lot of barbershops, right? And there's a bunch of different other businesses, white, Asian, whatever you want to call it, right? Here's my thing about that. When you say the money's leaving the black community, the community I live in is diverse. Where's the money going? Where's it going? Everybody in this area is what's the name? If I was to go up to let's say I go to Trenton, right? I go to Trenton, right? Trenton, but not everybody in Trenton is black. Not a good portion of them maybe, but a good portion of them are not black. So when they say the black community, I need to understand what he means by the money's leaving the black community. What is he saying? Are you saying that the money should be connected to every black business? So every person that owns a black business. So let's say I want to buy my fish. I fry fish. I buy my fish from the black guy. He gets his fish from the black guy who goes fishing, right? The fish, the bait, he gets his bait from a black guy who gets the bait. You know what I'm saying? Is that what he's saying? Because when he says that, keep the money circulated, is that what he means? Because I'm hoping that that's what he means. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there was an experiment done by Killer Mike, and he said he's gonna buy everything black, and he said it's almost impossible to do that. It's almost impossible to do. It's not that, because we don't particularly go into certain fields and thrive in that field, or we just don't go in that field. We stick to what we like and what we know and what we think is going to make money. Barbershops is one of our crown jewels. This is what we do. We stick to barbershops. We go to barbers. We we get our hair. We cut hair. That's what we do. Black people were the best at it, in my opinion. Well, then again, I don't know, because Dominicans they fire. I ain't gonna lie. That's a battle between black people and Dominicans and haircuts. Yeah, it's a battle. But this is what I'm talking about. So when you say community, do you mean like a small knit community where you buy from him, then he buys from him, he gets it from him, gets it from him, and he gets it from him, and the money stays circulated? Is that what he's saying? I'm hoping that's what he's saying, because I don't understand the whole thing about black community now, because everything is wide open now. And let's be clear here. If you got the money, you can live anywhere in the United States. There's no law that states that you can't live there. You might not want to live there, or you might think that there's some people there that might not want you there, but they can't stop you. They can't. You can live anywhere. They can't stop you. So when he says black community, I don't know what he means by that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all can explain it to me. But let's keep going.
Your business.
And what you said.
But they don't know that.
He
I'm saying
didn't
the
say
people who
nothing.
hear that clip ain't gonna know he does that. That's my issue. It's the
But that's the
message that's it's like we just said with John 50. It's the messaging and the people that hear that, and what do? People who are inclined to not support a business because it's black.
That's my thing though. Like, if the people that heard that don't get that message, then they have a personal problem in its own. Like, they have their own issues. If they're white, then they're big and they're going to be and think that way anyway. If they're black, then they're closed-minded, and I'm sure that stops them from getting many more messages. So it just is what it is, my boy.
But if he's telling the business owners or the entrepreneurs, hey, don't run your business, don't look for my business or anyone's business just because you're black. Have something else to offer. Because there's people they come up to me, yo, man, support black-owned business. But this is a bad product.
Yep.
This is poorly, just cheap, is this, is that. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind supporting it if it was a good product. Yeah. How about put that?
But see, again, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Even with it being a cheap product, they still want you to support. A good portion of people saying, I didn't make it because I wasn't supported. And then they don't want to tell the truth that you wasn't using butter, you was using margarine and spreading margarine on people's bread. And they ask for butter. And you get the soggy toast. You know what I'm saying? You're putting too much stuff on something. You wasn't prepped right. It wasn't good. Like, a lot of people, and let's be clear here. And that's another thing too that I think that, and this is I think that another thing, and I think Lamont should have said this. Instead of him saying what he said, I think he should have said this. A lot of black people don't know how to own businesses because we was never taught. A lot of black people need people to teach them how to run a business, because a lot of us think we're entrepreneurs, and I love that. I think that that's amazing that we think we're entrepreneurs. But you got to understand that there are what comes with being an entrepreneur is failure. Everybody's going to fail. There's not one person on this planet that's 100% has a 100% success rate and still thriving. You failed somewhere and you have to learn. I think that we don't understand the dynamics of owning a business. I think a lot of us own a business because we know how to cook, but we don't understand how to keep things refrigerated correctly for months. I think there is a course for that, but we cut corners too much. I'm not saying that McDonald's don't do that either, but they may be better at it. Maybe they've been doing it for so long they didn't know how to get the temperature a certain way. We don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the major problems with black businesses. And the reason why they shut down is because we usually just go with what we like. We don't really go with what we go with what we know and what we like. We don't really go with what we should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give it to you, I'll put it to you like this, right? I like to talk, but I make beats. My beats are fire, right? And I make music. I would be the first to say I love my music. My music might be for everybody. I'm a good rapper. I'm actually pretty good. I got good bars. I got good music, but it might not be for everybody. But I know what it is that's working for me is me talking. So I'm going to go with that because I love to talk too. I'm not going to try to, I might put a couple of songs out one day, but I'm not going to go strictly for that. I got different options. I think that that's the key that black people understand. When you own a business, you should learn about it before you do it. Somebody I know, he wants to buy all these expensive cameras, right? But he doesn't want to learn about photography. That's the thing. We don't never want to learn about how to do certain things. We just want to do it. And then when we get into it, we want to learn on the job. It don't work like that in a restaurant. You should take at least a year before you even open a restaurant, save your money, figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it, everything, learn everything. And then you do it. And you gradually start out slow. That's just my opinion. So let's keep it going.
That's where the finesse part come in. Like, I could do subpar shit, and you just out of obligation should support me because I'm black. That's a finesse, and he's right.
I think that's, I don't know if that's Ice or Ish. It sounds like Ice, I think.
He is right on that point. The problem is two things. One, the people who hear that don't get that message, and two, part of being a black business is working with other black businesses. So it's not, I get what you're saying. This is like an inside conversation with the restaurant owners. Like, look, don't just think you can ride off being black, right? Don't that riding off black shit is a hustle. The problem is, again, instead of having that conversation in isolation, I'm saying in addition to that conversation, we need to have a conversation encouraging black people to buy black shit, because otherwise that black business owner, do they get the black sandwich distributor? Do they get the black janitorial company to help work in their business? Mm-hmm. That's the part I'm worried about. And if people don't get that extra push to say, yo, support them because they're black. And I think sometimes at this moment we're afraid to say that. I'm saying support people because they're black. And he's saying, I'm going to be colorblind, right? I'm going to support people.
I think what he's doing now is he's trying to, I don't know what he's really doing in this argument, because this argument has a major flaw. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I think his argument isn't really working. I think what Wallo said is absolutely true. I think that you shouldn't just support black business because people say that support black business. I think you should really scope it out and see what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll end up supporting a bunch of garbage because they're black. You know what I'm saying? And we're just talking about black businesses. We can get to white businesses. That's another story. We're just talking about, because in the context of black, let's just keep it here right now. Yo, bro, no, what about the white? No, let's talk about here. You know what I'm saying? We talking about this. Now, the only thing I will say about this whole thing, I think that when he says stuff like buy black, well, that's a very tricky thing to say, because what do we create that's black? Outside of like clothes, right? So let's just say we clothes in to say, but we don't have enough manufacturers for us to just buy black. So let's just say, for example, right? This is another thing that I think black people should look at, right? In the hood, we go to proms, right? Black people go to proms. The kids go to proms. How come you don't see no black tailors or no black dressmakers? I know there are some people who do it, but I'm saying like on a bigger scale. Why they don't have a store where there are black people own this and they tailor major suits for the kids? You know what I'm saying? I think that that's a good thing that the black community, because to me, you buying the fabric and then you making whatever you making. But a lot of times, nobody want a graphic tee all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a lot of people who sells these things. Like, we need to sell things that are useful You know what I'm saying? That gets people coming back and they get trained to come back because it's useful. Buying suits and dresses for prom and suits for prom for your teenagers and your kids or homecoming or whatever, that's useful. And black people love to look good. And some black people do get their stuff made by somebody. But we don't have a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Some of these things I think are useful, like maybe learn how to make pots or pots and pans. Things that are useful. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too that I think that a lot of black businesses, well, I think they go wrong, is they want to become rich overnight. This is a slow burn. You know what I'm saying? I know this dude who owned a pizza store. He looks very young, but he's older than me. But him and his brother had the pizza store with their dad. Their dad passed away, and they've been running that pizza store for like, I ain't gonna say how many years. I'm just gonna say for a long time. A long time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when we do these things, we have to maybe think of things that are not so convenient for all these other things like food. You got to compensate more. Everybody ain't gonna eat fried chicken every day. You're gonna get certain people who's gonna eat that, but maybe come up with something like, all right, I'll give you another example. Styles P, he has a juice. I believe he has a juicer. He has a business and he sells juice or like mixed juices or whatever, which is pretty good. That's another thing. We need good, healthy food in the community without just eating ice cream, but still, we need that. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna let him talk a little more and then I'm gonna get out of here.
Purely based on whether
Well,
it's a quality
people are
business.
answering you and saying no.
Yeah, and I'm saying I disagree.
That's what they're saying.
I disagree.
Yeah, and I disagree with that take.
I see.
Wallow did say, I don't give a fuck what race you is at some point. Something like, I'm paraphrasing, I may be wrong with that. So I understand that point, but I do still think that some of the correlations that they're making is not fair. I don't think it's fair, especially as far as saying like how you think the conversation or the speech should have went as far as making sure that black people understands the importance of shopping with black businesses. The context of the conversation matters. He's speaking directly to business owners and motivating them to be the best possible. What the fuck is wrong with that? Wallo didn't put the message out there himself. He was being recorded and it leaked out there. Maybe if he was speaking to an audience of black consumers, the message would be different. I can't speak for him, but I can imagine the message being something like be intentional with your money. And if you see a black business that's doing the right thing, award them with your loyalty so they can afford the resources to grow. Now, if you're speaking to the black businesses, once again, be that business that's doing the right thing so people will be incentivized to continue to reward you, all right?
I hear Mark's take. I think Mark's take and Wallow's take are different.
That's ish right there.
I think so too. So I don't think Mark is
Mainly,
opposed to what Wallo was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I see both sides.
He's saying you shouldn't say it publicly.
He don't
Is what
want to
I'm getting
highlight
from
it. That's
that.
what he said.
But he wasn't saying it publicly. He's talking to
Exactly. He did not say it publicly. Somebody secretly recorded that. He didn't say it publicly. He didn't go and say, "Yo, I'm doing a speech today." It just so happened you seen it. But I think that what bothers Lamont is the words he used when he put "don't support" and "black" in the same sentence. He don't, whatever else is in that sentence, he blacked all that out. But that's what he really, really, really got him.
a group of black business owners and telling them to be the best. The fuck?
See, I feel like
We're
with
not
Mark's
adding
take,
the other part.
he's talking to. I can see if he put this like as a clip out just to the world. Somebody recording it and putting it out is different. He's
Facts.
talking to a group of entrepreneurs.
Right.
So my message is for the business owners.
Facts.
Hey, y'all, don't go out there marketing, looking for your support just because you black. Now, somebody recorded and put it out and get out, cool.
Yes.
But I think he's doing this the right way. I'm talking to the business owners, telling them, focus on making a good product, not focus on getting support just because you black.
I agree with
So it sounds like you agree with him.
I agree with that message. I'm saying that message is dangerous when it gets put out in that way, because in a world that already looks to not support black shit, I'm saying I think you need to add a little more to that so that people get the full picture.
What could he?
Come on, bro. That's what I mean. Like, yo, you can't listen, bro. You can't satisfy some people, no matter what. He agrees with him, but he's saying he shouldn't have said it. Like, what? So what you saying? He should not say it? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna play all of this. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear what Melissa got to say. And after that, I'm just gonna end it because, yeah, let's go.
He's not talking to the other people to handle that part. He's not talking to them. The message is not for the consumers. So why would he be talking to consumers if he's not talking? It makes no sense to me. It's not his fault that elite. It's not his fault that elite. If I'm a parent and my child is failing a class, and I may understand why they may be failing the class, and maybe some external reasons, whatever, but I understand they failing the class. I encourage them to do better. I motivate them in whatever way. Hey, you need to do better, blah, blah, blah. You need to get your shit together. So I'm going to light a fire under my child to do better, to pass this class and get good grades in this class, get the best grades possible. I then will go separately and advocate for my child with the teacher, say, hey, I understand he's failing. He may have been struggling with this, that, and third, but give him a chance. Can you give him some extra credit? Or is there opportunities for tutoring so we can make sure that he gets a chance to go ahead and, and pass this class? The teacher probably has no idea that I just cussed this child the fuck out for tripping and not being on top of their shit. Probably went the fuck in on their ass. They don't need to know that. The conversation ain't for the teacher to know that. But I had that conversation and my child know the next time they get an assignment, they gonna be on point, because they know the expectations for them is superior. But as far as conversation I have with the teacher, I'm advocating for my child to be able to get a fair chance, even to catch up because they messed up before. Give him a fair chance. He gonna get it right. Blah, 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 woody, woody, woody. That's what I'm saying right here.
What could he have said, added on to it that would have flushed out the entire message?
Now, if the product is good, I'm gonna support you because you're black.
Mm-hmm. No, I think
I
you should.
kind of feel like he said that.
No,
though.
I think
no. He's saying I'm supporting you because the product is good. I'm saying it's okay to say I'm supporting you not just because the product is good, but because you're black. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give him that. I'll give Lamont Hill that.
I'm gonna support you initially because you're black. Period.
Boom.
I'm gonna support you initially because you're black. If your service is good and if your product is good, I'm gonna continue to support you because you're black. If you are lacking in, my man just opened up a restaurant across the street. Life After, that's my man, right? So anybody that I know, I tell them, yo, my man opened the restaurant, go to Life After, go to Life After, right? I'm telling the people to do that. Now, I also, when my friends go there, I'll get, yo, how was it? And people have given me mostly positive feedback. And then the little bit of negative feedback that they give me, I tell my man directly, yo, this is what my people said. Yo, this is what my people said when they came there. But initially, I'm gonna support your product because you are black. The niggas who clothes I wear on this show, I've never taken a dime from nobody who shit I wore on the show. I'm supporting this because you are a small black business, and that's what I wanna do. Now, if your product is trash, I'm not gonna keep supporting you based off the simple fact that you're black. And that's what I think Wallo was trying to convey. Like, yo, dog, your consistency, your cooks, your product, your service, all of those things need to be up to par, because if they're not, then I'm going over here to the whites.
I feel like Mark.
Yeah. If y'all want to watch the rest, man, this is a great conversation. I really don't want to end it, but oh man,
I was just saying it was a more not so anti-black way to sound.
That he could have presented it. That's what I said. Like, yo,
is it possible that was cut out somewhere since this is a cell phone?
I think it's possible. Yeah,
it's possible.
There may be more.
All right, it's enough of that. Yeah, man, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. So yeah, so I think Lamont is making a great point, but I think a lot of times Lamont is he's 100% pro-black. I'm 100% pro-black, but there's certain things that you just gotta be honest about. You know what I'm saying? I'm always for my people first, but there's some things you just gotta be honest about. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of things people say, they just say it because they kind of beholden to somebody. They can't say, if they say, oh no, I agree with, if they say they agree with Wallo, Black Twitter gonna come after them. They going, oh man, they gonna listen, bro. You can't get caught up in that world. I got a Twitter, but I don't even use it. I don't even go on there. I don't have an Instagram. I don't go in there either. You know what I'm saying? Only time I have an Instagram, and if I go in there, I just go in there to see if we can release some new music or to see maybe one thing. But it's too much stuff going on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go on there. And then Facebook, I really don't go on Facebook like that no more either. So I'm here with y'all. But yeah, man, Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all agree with Lamont and what he's saying? Maybe Wallow could have said it a little bit differently. But if Wallow's saying it in private and somebody put it out in public, I mean, can you really blame Wallow? He was talking to a bunch of entrepreneurs and telling them, don't lead with just saying you're black. Just make sure you work on your product. So tell me what y'all think, man. I know this is a conversation that a lot of people like, and I know some people are going to hate it, but I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it, man. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye. That was the question.